somehow. So what we want to do with this is we want to make sure on our virgin tint to lighten that we're taking really thin sections on the bottom, even thinner than color, because we want to make sure that it goes all the way through. So it is darkest in the back on the bottom. So I did do this. Okay.
So you're taking about a 1/4 of an inch subpartings, you guys, or smaller.
So I kind of start at the bottom, bring this out, go back to the top section and bring this, oh, no, I already did it wrong. Don't look at that. I did it on myself. Don't look, I messed up. I'm over here
It's
thinking,
Monday.
Yeah, I'm over here thinking we did something else. Okay, we'll start over. I don't know what I was thinking right there. So if you do this in real life, because it happens,
Just
you
wipe it
forget, just wipe it off and start over. It'll be fine. You might want to spray it down with some water, get a paper towel, and remove that. Okay. So let's try this again. I'm going to go about 1/2 inch off the scalp, and I'm going to apply this up to the mid strand. From the back side, come to the front side, and up to the mid strand. Now, I notice a lot of times when people apply this, that 1/2 inch is from your fingertip to your first knuckle is approximately 1 inch. So 1/2 inch is in the middle of that. That is not very much space. So remember that, so that you don't end up leaving it too far off the scalp and having a different color of the scalp.
If you do it, it kind of like bands the hair, and because it won't lighten it
Yeah,
up.
it looks like a ring.
Yeah.
Okay. Drop down my next section. Half an inch off the scalp to the porous ends. Next section. So I don't like.
You know, she's applying her product in like all different directions.
Well, I love how clean the section is. It's so much easier to get in there.
Yeah.
It's really, really clean. I like that.
Yeah, you want to you don't want to be messy with it, because when you have your clean subpartings, when you do it in the beginning, when you have to go back and you have to apply it to the base and through the ends, it makes it a lot easier to go back and apply it to get a nice, good, even saturation. So subparting is super important. You want to be really clean with it.
Yeah. I remember my first time, OMG for client.
Say that again?
I said, OMG, I remember my first client, poor thing. Because I never the practice for sure.
So that's starting from the bottom. You can start from the top. I'll do this other half starting from the top and show you how you can do it this way. So you still go your 1/2 inch off up to your porous ends and just lay it over. If you do it this way though, you still have to pull it down, and you have to be real careful not to smash it onto the hair above it. And if it gets too wide, I'm going to subdivide my subsection or my subparting. So that I have control over this hair. This hair isn't going crazy, I'm controlling it. So that's where doing extra sections come in if you need it. You need to control this hair. So if you apply it like this, once you're done, you still have to pull this back down so that it oxidizes. Now, one thing with lighteners, they sort of disappear. So you have to make sure that when you go back through it, that you have a thorough saturation. So once this processes, and I'm about halfway, so if it's a 30-minute processing time, after 15 minutes, right, I'm gonna go back and apply it to the scalp. So that means I'm gonna pick up the same sections that I just had before, and I'm gonna go from the scalp and bring it up now. This is how I like to do it. I start at the top, and I'll show you the reason why. I just think it's easier to have more control over the hair this way. I still do not go through the ends. Scalp. Scalp.
I was thinking that for a second.
Hit the scalp. And it doesn't hurt to just sort of go up a little bit more, sort of refreshing that color just a little bit more. Still making sure that you don't smash it.
No smashing.
No smashing. No smashing that head to the scalp. You need that oxygen molecule in there so it works. So if you run out of product during this time and you have to mix more product, you better remember what you mixed and you better do it fast, because if I got to this point and I had to get more product, which I do, I would have to run back in my lab area and mix that really fast, because I do not want this to stay on there and have a different processing time than the rest of it, because then I would end up not being even. I know I'm taking bigger sections, but I'm in demo mode. Okay, so once I get this all applied to the scalp now, as I'm pulling this back down, this is where I'm gonna go through my ends. Making sure that I'm thoroughly saturated now, all the way from scalp to ends as I pull this back down.
Your video froze.
Say that again?
Your video is freezing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it keeps breaking up, and the audio keeps
It's kind of have to
going
bear
on
with
and off.
you guys. It's the internet.
Oh, the kids must be home.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get on her school. Kate crashed. Because Kate got home, got kicked off.
Really?
She was sick about 11:30. School started.
Yeah, with all the kids starting on distance ed, the internet's slower today.
Now, once this is completely processed, then you just go shampoo and finish as needed. And that's your Virgin Tint lightning application.
It looks like, is there a chat?
Now, this product that's left over, I don't just go put this in the sink. What I want to do is get this out of my bowl into the trash and then wash this bowl out.
Yeah, you're never supposed to take your color and put it down the drain.
All of the implements that I used go into my to be disinfected or soiled container. My gloves go in the trash. And the rest of the stuff gets put up for use another day. And these are now with the lid that is closed and tight. These can now be just ready for disinfection. Okay, do we have any questions on that one?
It is 12:48.
Okay. Let me go run back in the other room where I have a better internet connection and we'll pull the steps up and change the processing and all that real quick before we say goodbye. Oh, Jen, can you grab the roll, please? Yeah.
Kids are the problem.
Can you hand me my phone, please? So I can get the little pen out.
Little nose stickers, right?
Okay, so step 10. After we put our gloves on, right, we're going to make sure our gloves are on, and we're going to apply lightener using, it's really hard to write all this, using 1/4 inch partings. And we're going to apply 1/2 inch off scalp. And then we're going to apply it up to 1 inch porous ends. Okay. Then when we're halfway through our processing time, we're going to go back and apply to scalp, then ends. And depending on how porous the ends are, you may wait, maybe till the last 10 minutes before you pull it through the ends instead of 15, just depending on the ends and the condition that they are in. Once it's thoroughly processed, then we shampoo, right? Yeah, shampoo. Remember, you may need 2 or 3 shampoos. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Let's do 11.5, test strand.
Just checking for color development to make sure that you don't need any, a bit longer time. So before you go to shampoo it, take a small section of that hair, put a towel underneath it or paper towel, spray it down with some water and just rub it off and make sure you have
towel dry
it and make sure that you have even color and development from base through ends.
Yeah, definitely. Always do a test run before you wash it, just in case there's any adjustments that need to be made.
You may find like there may be like one little spot you has to go like a little bit longer or something like that.
Something, yeah. So we want to shampoo, rinse. Then we want to use our pH normalizer.
condition. And then the steps are the same again. You want to make sure that your shampoo bowl is cleaned and disinfected, you know, that there's no
You're
water on the
removing
floor.
any hair from the hair trap from
Yeah.
the shampoo bowl. That is a big, you can't leave that in the shampoo bowl. That could be a state board fine if they walk in. So make sure you're cleaning out the trap.
Yeah, so the difference in the steps here, let's see, so 16 to 22 are the same. So the only difference is going to be from step 10 to, well, actually 13. So it's just the processing time and the writing. So that's where this comes in on steps 10 through 13. There you go. I guess that should have been 13, not 11.5, but we'll pretend. All right. You guys have any questions on this?
So, pencil.
Everyone's got it down? Okay, so what I want to see you guys do is do this, if possible, if not today, tomorrow, and text us in the rubric with one picture of a section. I mean, you got to do the whole head, but we want to see the section done. Okay, so.
Okay, I'm going to call your names to make sure you're still on. Lexi,
Oh, I missed.